这部由 BBC World Service 制作的影片，标题为为什么台湾夹在美中之间 Why Taiwan is caught between China and the US。 大家好，我是雅儿，这是我们今天要谈的主题。我们来看一下 BBC 制作的这一期节目。
This island is something that China and the United States have basically agreed to disagree about for decades. Most governments don't recognize Taiwan as a country, but it has its own flag and its own army, and its elected president says it is a country. It has islands 2 kilometers from China, but China says all of Taiwan is a part of China. It hasn't ruled out taking it by force. And if that happened, Taiwan would look to its strongest partner, the United States. But even though it sells weapons to Taiwan, American policy is to answer questions about whether it would defend the island like this.
I never comment on that. I don't comment on anything because I don't want to ever put myself in that position.
Taiwan's situation is unique and complicated. And to make any sense of it, we need to start with a crash course in the island's history.
There's been many phases over 300 years. It was under Dutch rule for a few years in the 17th century. It was then part of what we call the Qing Empire in China. And then it was part of the Japanese Empire from 1895 to 1945.
At the end of World War II, Japan was defeated, and Taiwan was handed to Chiang Kai-shek, an American ally and leader of the Chinese nationalists. But they were in the middle of a civil war with the Chinese communists, led by Mao Zedong. In 1949, the communists won and founded the People's Republic of China on the mainland. The nationalists fled to Taiwan, along with more than 1 million refugees. But the war never officially ended.
What we were left with was effectively 2 Chinas. Both the governments in Beijing and in Taipei were claiming to be the legitimate representative of China.
The split that exists today between Taiwan and China started here. And the United States got involved because of what happened to another of its allies, South Korea. In 1950, North Korea, backed by China and the Soviet Union, invaded the South.
As South Korean forces moved up to stem the invasion, the world saw the challenge. Communism was on the march.
The US had wanted to keep out of any wars in Asia after fighting there in World War II. But it decided to send troops to support South Korea.
We are united in detesting communist slavery. We are determined to preserve our freedom, no matter what the cost.
The United States regarded the spread of communism as a huge threat. And because of that, Taiwan, as a non-communist country, became an important ally.
Chiang Kai-shek ran Taiwan as a dictatorship which imprisoned and executed its opponents. But because he shared America's anti-communist stance, for 20 years the US and Taiwan remained close. Thousands of American troops were stationed on the island, ready to defend it. But then, China's relationship with the Soviet Union, America's biggest rival, began to break down, and the US saw an opportunity.
Up until now, the US had refused to recognize the legitimacy of the government in Beijing. But the 2 governments began to be driven by a shared desire to counterbalance the Soviet Union.
For President Nixon, a sudden change in schedule.
China was no longer an enemy.
There can be no stable and enduring peace without the participation of the People's Republic of China and its 750 million people.
Very quickly, everything changed for Taiwan. And not just because of the US.
At the United Nations, an historic moment.
The United Nations voted to change who represented mainland China. Up until now, it had been Taiwan. But they gave the seat to the People's Republic of China.
Now we are being deserted. We are being forsaken.
Then under new leaders, the US and China got even closer.
The US-China relationship normalized in 1979. As a condition of normalization, the US then dropped its official relations with Taiwan. It was absolutely seen as an abandonment of Taiwan.
The US pulled its troops off the island, but said it would keep unofficial relations with Taiwan. Back in the US, some politicians still saw the whole thing as a betrayal of their ally. Congress passed a law which said the government had to sell weapons to Taiwan so it could defend itself. But the US drew a line on going any further.
It never stated clearly whether it would definitely come to Taiwan's assistance if it was attacked. It maintained this thing called strategic ambiguity, meaning that it was likely it would, but not completely certain.
Since 1979, this American ambiguity hasn't changed, even when Taiwan itself has. In the 1990s, it became a democracy and stopped claiming to represent the whole of China. But the Chinese position has always been that Taiwan is a part of China.
台湾是中国的神圣领土，两岸人民血脉相连。
China says it wants peaceful unification with Taiwan, but won't rule out the use of force. It runs frequent military exercises in the seas around the island. US intelligence agencies say they don't think an invasion is imminent, but that China is building up the military capability it could use to seize Taiwan.
China has really scaled up its military exercises and threats vis-a-vis Taiwan. Chinese leaders also see the ability to return Taiwan to China as a test of its ability to break through Western containment.
Taiwan sits at the center of what's known as the First Island Chain. It links together US military bases in Japan and South Korea and bases it has access to in the Philippines. Since 2024, the US and its allies have increased Navy patrols here in the Taiwan Strait. A fifth of the world's sea trade goes through here. The tiny chip which powers the device you're using to watch this video was probably shipped from Taiwan through the strait. Taiwan is one of Asia's top economies. Most of the world's most advanced microchips are made by one Taiwanese company, TSMC. It's so important that it's seen by many as a deterrent against the Chinese invasion.
Taiwan has this silicon shield because if you attack Taiwan, you attack this company, and everyone kind of relies on this company now.
The US is trying to reduce this reliance by helping TSMC set up this factory to make the same chips, but in Arizona. China is also investing in manufacturing, but the vast majority of chips are still made in Taiwan.
If that island were blockaded, that capacity were destroyed, it would be an economic apocalypse.
That scenario is played out in a Taiwanese TV drama about a fictional Chinese invasion. It was partially funded by Taiwan's government, which, in the real world, has expanded defense drills to prepare civilians for possible attacks. But polls show that most people in Taiwan don't think China will invade anytime soon. Most identify as Taiwanese, not Chinese. And many in Taiwan think that keeping things how they are is the best way to avoid war.
The majority support the status quo, which is not to have unification, but not to have independence either, to live in this ambiguous area, but at least relatively secure and stable.
But maintaining the status quo between Taiwan, China, and the US is a delicate balance.
Over the decades, the three parties have been able to preserve peace and stability because of a willingness really to maintain ambiguities around Taiwan's status. But this question has become increasingly a point of contention between the US and China as competition heats up between the two powers.
看完以上的节目，是不是也跟你的想法一样？接下来由雅儿为大家整理一下前言独特而复杂的岛屿。地位台湾是一个让美中两国在过去数十年间同意各自表述互不退让的岛屿。尽管大多数政府在官方上不承认台湾是一个国家，但它拥有自己的国旗、军队以及由民选产生的总统。台湾与中国大陆最近的距离仅有2公里。然而中国始终主张台湾是其领土的一部分，且从未排除动用武力统一的可能性。在这总威胁下，台湾寻求其最强大的伙伴美国的协助。虽然美国向台湾出售武器，但在是否会出兵保卫台湾的问题上，长期维持着所谓的战略模糊。历史脉络，两岸分治的起源，要理解现状，必须回溯台湾复杂的历史。台湾在17世纪曾受荷兰统治，随后成为清帝国的一部分。1895年至1945年，间则属于大日本帝国。二战结束后，台湾交由当时的中国领导人蒋中正接管。然而中国随即爆发内战，国民党败给了毛泽东领导的共产党。1949年，共产党在北京成立中华人民共和国，国民党则带领100万南民撤退到台湾。这场内战从未正式宣告结束，导致了海峡，两岸各自宣称代表中国的局面。美中台关系的演变，从紧密盟友到官方断交1950年韩战爆发，共产主义的扩张被美国视为巨大威胁，台湾因此成为美国反共阵营的重要盟友，美军甚至曾长期驻扎在台湾。然而到了1970年代，为了对抗苏联，美中关系开始解冻。1971年，联合国通过决议，由中华人民共和国取代台湾的席位。1979年，美中正式建交，美国随即终止与台湾的官方外交关系，撤走驻军。为了补救，美国国会通过了《台湾关系法》，要求政府必须向台湾提供防御性武器，但同时维持战略模糊策略及可能干预，但不做100%的承诺。细盾与地缘战略，为什么台湾如此重要？台湾的战略价值在于其地理与经济地位，第一岛链核心。台湾位于连结日本、韩国与菲律宾美军基地的中心点。如果中国控制台湾，将打破西方对其海上力量的围堵。全球贸易枢纽，全球1/5的海运贸易经过台湾海峡，而台湾更是全球先进半导体晶片的核心。细盾 Silicon Shield， 台积电 TSMC 生产了全球绝大多数最先进的晶片，因为全世界都极度依赖这些晶片，任何对台湾的攻击都将导致全球经济末日。这种依赖关系反而成为一种为设被称为台湾的细盾。当前现状，维持现状与模糊地带。1990年代，台湾转型为民主国家，虽然不再宣称代表全中国，但中国对台的军事压力却日益增加，频繁在台海周边举行演习。尽管局势紧张，大多数台湾民众仍支持维持现状，极不追求正式独立，也不与中国统一。这种模糊的现状虽然不稳定，却是目前避免战争最务实的方式。结于美中台三方在过去几十年来靠着对台湾地位的模糊共识，维持了区域的和平。然而随着美中两大强权的竞争加剧，台湾问题正日益成为双方角力的爆发点，这份脆弱的平衡也正面临前所未有的挑战。好了，我是雅尔。如果你对本期节目有任何意见，欢迎留言。如果您喜欢我的影片，请订阅我的频道，下期再见。